Hey, how are you? So, welcome back to this last day. And if I'm not wrong, this will be the last stream for our Global Hack Week, the Hack for Good. And this session is about taking your ideas into a product. Um, I honestly believe that there's not much need to take or to go from an idea to a product. And in our community, the global hacker community, of course, um, that's very important nowadays. And yeah, of course, me too. I'm sick of people talking about AI and AI and AI all the time. Unfortunately, this time we are going to talk a little about AI. Not my all my streams are like this. I promise. Like last week, sorry, yesterday's stream was about open source. We didn't talk about AI at all. So, of course, if you miss it, go and check it out. You can always find the recordings and everything at ghw.mlh.io. Let me start reading some comments here. Hi, all. I want to shout out for me, the only one here. And a surprise prize, the Spaceman 2020. You're not the only one here. We have more people. We have here, for example, Seth Darshi. Okay, maybe you're referring to YouTube. Is that correct? I don't know. Excited for this session. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. And of course, I always forgot to introduce myself. That's me. I'm Rude. My name is Alberto Camarena. I am your mainly hanging coach from Mexico City. And also, I forgot to share the event registry check-in link. Here it is. Please go check in so you get your points. So, returning to what I was saying, I'm also excited for the session. And yeah, I'm going to explain a little what this is going to be about. I mean, from YouTube. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's correct. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us from YouTube. That's amazing. And well, to get from an idea to a product, you only need to put your hands on. Right now, that's a sentence that, at least in software, or even sometimes with hardware too, it's very valid. And now, time from idea to product can be 2 hours of a stream, for example, maybe even less. And imagine if you're at a hackathon where you have 24 hours or more to experiment, to break things, to combine them, to put them back together, well, to hack. And that's an amazing opportunity. So, being here tells me that you are already part of our community. And probably you already have attended a hackathon before. But I'm really curious. Can you let me know here in the comments if you haven't attended a hackathon before? If that's the case, I really recommend you to. And if you have already, I want to hear your experiences. Did you complete your project? Were you able to fulfill your initial ideas? Uh, have you ever won a hackathon? That's another interesting question. And I have one more. That is, for example, if you come from a previous, or I would say a longer experience like me, have you ever attended a hackathon before the boom of AI? Like when you have to do a lot of things by yourself? And I think there's a differentiator there, not because we are better or we know how to code and the rest only vibe codes. No, because when I started doing my hackathons as a student, I remember my first time I did a Google Pages. I barely know how to do HTML, CSS, and a little of JavaScript. I always tell this story, but I spent the whole weekend trying to build something with that. I run out of time, and 2 hours before our deliverable, we set up a Google page like these weeks, like low code tool, and That's it. That's what we delivered. And a little of hardware, of course, being not the transmission of the data. Then on my second hackathon, I do build, but only a login. Only a login. The whole weekend I spent building the logging system. Um, and I remember I was judging the one time in a hackathon, and one of the other judges, of course, a person with more seniority, was like, "I cannot believe they did this. They should probably already bring this project made. They have done cheating. This is impossible to build in a single weekend." And I was like, "No, it is possible. Nowadays, it is possible because we're transitioning from being very, very manual builders to being planners, to being people that probably don't execute, but has enough understanding on the code and the basis and everything software engineering related that you can leverage to AI to build in your behalf. But still, again, it is very important that you understand what you're asking for, and that you understand what the AI is building so you can book like and have a robust product. Um, there is a taboo, and again, like there is a lot of people talking about this, saying like vibe coding, it's how to say that in a respective way, not doing software, and that products are like garbage, and that can look good, but they are like uh, cardboard, and they will break down at some point. That, if you want to say vibe coding in a respective way, can be a little true, because it is possible nowadays for building software and building things without actually knowing what you're doing. But for the people who actually know what they're doing, it's it's an how to say that, um, it's unlocking your potential. I I see this as threats, for example, and this comes from a more personal and philosophical way of thinking. I will say that, imagine you as a person, you only have a limited time on earth, right? And if you want to build an idea to becoming a product, either you have money to pay people um, for doing on your behalf, or you do it on your own. And in computers, it's like having threads, right? If imagine you are a single thread processing unit, um, and you can only do a task one at a time, right? There are tricks, of course. This multitasking, that it's not actually multitasking, but you do things extremely fast, so it looks like you're multitasking. Um, let's say, I don't know, for example, me, when I do cooking and I also come here to work, I'm not multitasking because I'm not actually doing do all these things at the same time. I don't have my laptop at the kitchen, and with one hand I'm like steering, and with the other hand I'm coding. No, what I do is that I execute maybe while something compiled or while something built. I go, I like steer, or I chop, or I cook, and then I come back and I do this enough fast so it make people believe I'm multitasking. Well, it's the same. I'm trying to put this on software engineering terms so the audience can understand it. But in real life, I'm a single thread. And the way in computers how you can multi-thread, it's well, multi-threading. It's possible. Computers now can do multitasking, but I can't. The only way I can do many things at a time, it's again if I pay other people to do it on my behalf. That's how companies work. Maybe you don't work in a company where you share the vision and you believe in the product, but hey, you have to eat, you have to pay rent, you have to work for a living. Um, And I hear it from founders and people saying like, "Oh, I want to come back to being an employee because I can handle working for other people's dreams, not mine." Well, that's pretentious, I believe, but they kind of have a point. You're working for someone else's dream. Maybe your dream is to work for them. That's completely fine. I do work at a company. I want to clarify. I do work at MongoDB, for example, and I work for the mainly hacking. And I do share values and goals with both of them. And I enjoy working at them. But also I have personal projects. And I don't have money to hire people to work on my behalf. Um, but there's AI. And sorry for making these circles around and trying to explain my point, but I swear it's related. There is AI now, and for example, you can use these tools to accelerate your development. So again, uh, and I heard this joke one time, like managers used to vibe code people because that's kind of true again if you put in that perspective. Uh, they ask for things, we align on requirements, but we do our best, then we deliver, and here it is, right? Project manager or product manager see my result, it approves, okay, we're fine. Well, now you can be your own project manager for your ideas. Um, Again, and I also believe that this is why nowadays we can build products really, really fast. And it can be robust projects, not because you're building on your own, not because you're building on AI and like again, people saying like vibe coding stuff, it's not good. Uh, Again, it will depend how you call vibe coding, because I do see on the industry that we're moving from the bias of you have to do everything manual and you have to write your own lines of code, else you're vibe coding and that's garbage, to let's use AI. Let's actually use AI to solve problems. Again, you're responsible for the output. If the AI commits a mistake, it's your mistake. You cannot blame AI. So you have to be aware of that. But you can do again things faster, accelerate it, and have a head of a start with this AI tooling. And in this session, I'm going to try to give you these best practices of how you can build these products on your own, of course using AI. Since we're students, well, I am not a student anymore, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Of course, I would love to stay in the academia and do a master's or a PhD or something, but that's not the time for me. Well, since you're still students, you have Copilot as a student version. If you have not claimed your GitHub student developer pack, I really recommend you do it right now. I'm going to show you how. And there is no excuse to say, hey, I don't have access to AI. You do. Thanks to the GitHub education team, you do. And I really want to give a shout out to the GitHub education team because that's democratizing the access to really powerful tools. Probably you don't have access to the latest models and like no the most powerful tooling, but that's normal. Like life, it's not a pay to win game, and again, you still have access to AI, right? Now let me do a pause and check on your comments because I see there are some comments here. Hi, gonapolabs.com, here from Cape Town, here to grow and experience and have fun. Okay. Great perspective, Roberto. Thank you so much. Where else are you working outside the mainly hacking? I'm working at MongoDB. That's my, well, you can say, day-to-day job. And here at the mainly, I'm more like a contractor. Thank you for being authentic. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So, Let's get this started. I'm going to share my screen. But before I share my screen, let's do a recap. I have some notes here. From idea to a product. Of course, you need to start having an idea. But if you don't have an idea, I'll give you some advice on how you can get the idea actually. I will say you can start with a problem. And I was talking with my colleagues the other time, and we were talking about, of course, we all want to change the world. That's well, I don't know if that's from Duran Duran or which other band that says we all want to rule the world. Okay, yeah, that song is amazing. Yes, of course, we all want to change the world, but my recommendation and my honest advice it's start local. um, Maybe at your community you have a problem, and maybe the people are tired of even trying, and that's very common. There's a word for that. I can't remember how to say that in English, but the point here is that I'm going to put you an example. When I arrived in my building, uh, I saw there were a light bulb that was not working, and I was like, okay, probably there's a short circuit. The light it's not working when it's dark. It's supposed to be up, on. Sorry, and it wasn't. And but I discovered that the motion sensor was working, just looking at him because it was lighting up. And I was like, okay, the only thing missing here is changing the light bulb. Why the people in this building doesn't change it? I asked to a neighbor, like, if, do we have an administrator or something like that? It's like someone in charge of this, and he was like, no, no one's in charge. Like we do, like talks about things if they are needed. Why? Okay, I see there's a light bulb like not working. Can I change it? And they were like, yeah, you can. And they were impressed, like, oh, okay, why these people care? Because I live here. Probably in your community, that's the same. And I live in Mexico City. So I was with this idea, what can I do? What can I do here and for a hack for good project? And I discovered the Mexico City has a portal that has like open data. So I started looking around it, and well, let's discover what can we do. I yet don't have the idea. Still, well, my idea is to build something for uh, hacking for good, and in the process, show you how I build it with AI and what are the best practices, the planning, the architecture, and everything. And yeah, that's the advice. Start looking for problems, start looking for data, and the idea will come. So now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here, share, and here you are. I'm going to create a project, MLH, Global Hack Week, and here I'm going to create the hack for good idea. And here I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can see my screen correctly. Okay. Uh, 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 okay. Okay, here it is, agent. I don't know what the try to play agent research and plan before implementing changes. Okay, I'm going to plan. Yeah, of course. Um, Let me open browser tab here. What happened? Why I don't see this? Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, here. Um, it's moh.github.link/github. And here you will find the GitHub Student Developer backlink. Again, you will find instructions on how you can claim it, and this will unlock your GitHub Copilot access. Again, we used to have the GitHub Pro, but they changed the rules. Now we have the okay. As you can see, I'm not longer a student. Don't tell GitHub because I still have 1 year of validation. The benefits are here. Again, you will see students, more information, good spaces, learning, discover the student builder back. Here, well, you will see the packs, Copilot. GitHub Copilot offer new planned sync ups are temporarily paused as we ensure quality experience. Oh, what happened? Okay, don't worry. I'm confident the GitHub education team will resolve it in a short time, but keep an eye on this. Still, I think you have a free tire, even if you don't access this. But yeah, come to claim your GitHub student developer back. And I see we have another comment. How you think we should validate our idea, which may not necessarily be new? Oh, that's a great question. Actually, about the new part, I do want to state that a lot of people tend to believe having new ideas and be like, how to say that? Yeah, fresh. I'm not sure. Innovative. I think that that would be the best word to describe it. It's all we can do. And that's not true. I will say that first, try to find if there's already someone, something, a company, an organization, a product, a developer, maybe someone indie, something solving that. It can be done, for example, that you want to apply to your location and it's, I don't know, in other city, in other country, in other community. Don't try to find sorry, don't try to create everything from scratch. First thing you need to do is look for the answer out there. Probably the world is so big and there are so many ideas out there. Someone already think about it, or someone already tried to implement something similar, and that's it. The in the academy, I mean, when you try to do science, that's exactly the thing you need to do. If you come with an hypothesis, you need to validate in the state of the art that someone else hasn't done this yet before. That's the very first step. You need to make sure of that. Probably are related work, and it's completely valid saying, okay, someone already did this, but I'm going to apply this change and let's see how it goes. That's still science. Here, I didn't want to talk about science specifically, but this scientific method, it's of course beautiful to follow around with this product creation, of course. So great question. And the other way you can validate this, I mean, in terms of not finding a new idea, not necessarily new, but let's say you already did this research, you already know that that was done, but you're going to apply the changes. How do you think the changes are going to affect positively, negative, whatever? Then put it in practice. Uh, for that, of course, you will have to already have an MVP or minimum value product. which you can put in practice and test with your, I want to say customers, but you don't need to charge. I mean, your target audience, let's say that. Um, yeah, because I think customers, it's kind of attached with they are paying you. But you're hacking for good. You don't need to have benefit from this, right? I mean, you can, and again, it's possible. It's just not necessary. Well, test it with your audience, test it with the people you are creating this for. Um, so yeah, keep coming with these great questions. Understand? Thanks. Of course. Thank you. Um, so let's return, and this is the data set. Sorry, this is in Spanish. I was meaning to, let's see. Okay. Oh my God, this is not reachable. Let's see if this works. Let me see. I'm going to look for it on my cell phone to see if this is not being blocked by my configuration or anything. Hmm. Yeah, on my phone it works. I don't know what happened here. Why is this being blocked? Can't be reached. Okay, let me just see something. Okay, sorry about that. Huh. Is it my network or my browser which is blocking it? I think it's my network. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Oh. What can I do? What? Let me see if there's a repo for that. Probably GitHub. It's not blocked. Um, can I share my screen here? Give me a second. I'll try a very weird fix. Hmm. And um, file, new screen recording, and I don't want it to be from here. Hmm. No, it's not working. Okay. QuickTime, file, remove recording, and okay, that's me. Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, here we have it now. I'm so sorry for. Okay, okay, we have it now. Oh my god. Okay, here it is. We have the. I'm sorry again, this is in Spanish, but this is for Mexico City portal that hosts the open data that they have. We have 475 data sets, 33 institutions, and 21 categories. We can find it for category, connectivity, culture, attention. So let's see about the categories to try to find one interesting. Um, Finance, attention to the citizens, connectivity, COVID, culture, statistics, demographics. Hmm, this one's big, like urban development and territory, housing, geographic division, technology, education, and science, justice, inclusion, climate change, woman, mobility. This one, I think it's interesting, at least for me. For democracy, or I don't have a better word to describe it, but the participación ciudadana one, it's I will back it because we have like local elections frequently at many places, and honestly, not all the time we attempt that. We frequently miss them, and I think that that's a great project to hack on. Then like taxes, health, tourism, and there's another tab for this visualization. Okay, let's go back. Let's inspect the one for democracy to see what we have. We have an CSV and XLSX. Okay, this one I think it's great. So it's a proposal from the citizenship to create a cycling track on the city. This data set shows a list of proposals made by the citizens to integrate the first map of cyclists. Okay, okay, this one got interested. Let's do one thing. It was updated on 2025, no, 2021, sorry. So I'm going to download this and I'm going to share it here. Okay, this was not shared correctly. Let me do one thing. Download. Copy, find, dark, translate, save, print. I'm looking for the save option. I'm not finding it. Okay, I have now. Now if I choose for files, recent, and this now I can share. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry, I think I was not showing that last part. Um, my bad. Well, but now continue. We have it here. So this is a public data set from the Mexico City government, and we are good. We are going to come here. Actually, we are going to clear this, and we're going to move from downloads. This file was called what? Propuesta. To here. What's the name of this one? Hack for good. Okay. NCD hack for good. And we are here. And now we have it. Now that we have it, let's just come here and start talking with Copilot about this. Can you read the, and I'm going to add this file. Okay, here. Can you read the CSV file and give me a summary of what this is for? I'll quickly inspect CSV structure and then summarize it. It's proposed and okay. This CSV is a public consultation dataset about the ZMX cycling map project. It's looked like it was created to track citizens' proposals submitted to improve or expand a cycling map and record the government's response to each proposal. What it contains: proposal metadata, ID, the title, proposal, and the URL, and the evaluation field status, accepted, rejected, and the official reason in the feedback. Engaging metrics, commentaries, we support, I'm guessing, and followers. What is it for in practice? Collect ideas from cyclists, citizens, high level pattern these files, 67 proposals. Do this, ha- has a map location or geo data to build the tracks in a map. That's the interesting thing. I was thinking of, like, if we can create a way to visualize it, that would be amazing, and that would be our project. If no, we can look for more data sets. Um, Basically, no. We are missing from latitude, longitude, geometry, GeoJSON, start, whatever. What you can do instead is the text in the proposal to extract place names, avenues, intersections, and geocode them. Follow each URL and check whether the source page has structured location data. What are the URLs for? Links to the original proposals. Interesting. So let's open them to see if they work, because they probably won't. I think this is locked as well. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Okay. You know what? We can come back here and see transparency. You can compare the CSV fields with the official record. Reference key, short terms. Okay. Now, I think the URLs are not working. Mm, but I'm thinking of a way to. I'm thinking that we could create a platform that supports drawing on the map to create these proposals and replicate the results with geodata. So you're getting the idea. Am I getting clear here? I found this data set and I discovered that they don't have geomerical data. They only have information. They have like a proposal link, if it was accepted, if it was not. Some of them are, and nowadays, 5 years later, we can compare and see if they were actually created. But here we also see an opportunity, which is, hey, if it is easy, well, probably in 2021, it's not that easy, but if it's easy, why don't we create a platform to make this possible? Um, I see we have a comment. What do you think it's the best form of product for the end user? People often hesitate to download an executable and try that out. Can you share some advices to ensure more users try the product? I would say it depends on if you want it to be used by people who doesn't know that they have that pain, or if you want people to use it because they know they have that pain. In this case, for example, um, let's see, I want to participate, I want to create a proposal, and I'm betting, like, for the people that did submit a proposal for this project, they probably had to make a lot of papers and sign documents and very complex stuff, instead of having a web page where they register. We in Mexico City have an account at the government page. Imagine accessing the government page and have a system that lets you create a proposal like this, where you can justify why do you think bicycle track or a cycle track here, it's needed at your neighborhood or your community, at the whole city, whatever. Uh, so people don't need to understand they want that. They already want that. I would say the best form of product it's the one that better fits your audience. In this case, for example, I remember, and this is some again. I don't want to be rude and like putting the highlight anyone, but I've been to hackathons where I judge the projects, and they say like we are going to create this system for blind people. Um, and I asked, like, okay, that's cool. What it is? It's a web page. It's a extension. It lives inside the computer, and it's like, no, no, no. It's a web page. Okay, how how the people that it's blind it's going to reach that page? Like you're not thinking about that. And in some very other optimistic cases, they'd say like, no, the application it's going to take full control of your computer and it's going to allow you to do anything but to speak. And like for example, some computers already have that system. It depends, but it's hard for them. You cannot say we are going to take full control of your computer. That's not possible. So yeah, make the product fit your users' needs. Some people want an Google extension, Chrome extension. Some people want an application. I'm not a very huge fan of downloading a lot of apps in my cell phone. Um, and I'm also not a big fan of having many extensions. If I need it, I will go open a web page, use it. Sometimes it's possible. Sometimes it's more a hardware. How to say that? Hardware extensive. Needs more hardware, so it's not possible to run a web. Um, every project will be different in this case. Uh, but yeah, great. Thanks for the question. It was a great discussion. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, that's a strong idea. Your CSP is a good seed for it. Uh, we have a good starting point. And also, again, we're relying on the AI, not on doing everything and we're just lazing around. We're going fast. We're going fast. We're developing and getting ideas, ping pong of what we can do. It won't replace you. Again, AI won't replace you. AI will truly make you faster. So yes, the URL are that you can still build a new participatory platform where people submit proposals by trying directly on a map. Then store everything as data for analysis and publication. Suggest platform design. Okay, I like it. Let's talk about requirements. We are entering the planning and architecting phase. So we are going to move from the ask to the plan. First, I want everything to be on MongoDB for the data. Then the front end can be React and back end Nest.js, right? Um, for the maps, I think leave fleet it's a good idea, but we can discuss it now. I like to integrate uh, integrated with. Let me think this through. So they are going to come, the users, and they are going to use this platform, of course, and they are going to submit their proposals. And what else? Okay, now I like to have a swagger. It's that correct? Let me find swagger. Okay, yeah, it's a swagger. Docs for the developers that will integrate this later to the government services. The AI should be open for this first phase, but since we are managing sensitive data, let's be cautelous. What's the word? Let's be careful. We can implement an external auth service momentarily to get users information. We can discuss which one. What are your requirements are we thinking of? Help me think here in the comments. Do you think adding other features could do a great idea of it? Um, our focus here is to draw on the geometrical map, have the form for the rest. Uh, Field proposal, propose saved, or can support comment. Uh-huh. Okay, and I'm missing something. I like the heat maps feature. Awesome. This was sent. So we are going over the planning and let's see. Saptarshi Sarkar 12. Do you change your profile picture in these moments we were talking? I thought it was another person question. Um, okay. I'll gather requirements context first and draft complete phase one. Awesome. So this probably can take a little. Yeah, I was a little confused, my friend. That's cool. Good profile picture now. Well, the other one was good too. This one, but yeah, you kind of look different. Probably need to update mine as well. That I always get that as a um, fun tale. Once I applied for a, it was not a job per se. Let's say like for being a conference speaker, and they were like, okay, send me your LinkedIn, and I sent them the LinkedIn, and on my LinkedIn I used to have a profile picture where I was, I think, 19, 18 years old, and man, I don't look the same, of course. And they were like, okay, you look too young, you probably are not uh, suited for this. So that day I updated my profile picture, and I was like, no, I promise that's not me. I'm older now. I swear. But yeah, for public maps, should proposal location be exact or privacy protected? Hmm, exact. How should new proposals be published in phase one? Okay, how to publish immediately. We're going to use out zero. Now, I'll probably rule out for the moment, but will help. Yeah. Um, which way controls you want? Read, write, full, open, read only. Okay, this one for the moment. Um, for heatmaps phase one, what should they represent? All proposal by density. Yes. Could. Awesome. That's funny. Yeah, I saw it. It's true. Um, I don't know if that was the actual reason. I wasn't part of the conference. I wasn't that, but yeah, that time I didn't got selected. And now I think that was like 3 years ago. I believe I don't see myself the same as the one in the picture again. I grown mustache, well, kind of. Um, so probably if I want to keep this, I better update my profile picture again. Either way, I had to take headshots for my title. I graduated last year and I haven't gotten my title yet. Uh, it's that title the correct word? Degree? Like the paper they give you? I don't know how it's called. Um, uh, and I need that. As you were a hackathon judge. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, let's see. Awesome. Um, Plan phase one, Civic GeoMap platform. We already covered the code stack and major product goals. What are missing mostly governance details, abuse controls for an open grade API, privacy, policy discretions, moderation lifecycle, and a stable integration contract. Strategy for government consumer steps, log scope, and process criteria. Phase one, define the data model in MongoDB with geospatial for structure, define security contracts, integrate temporary external, design a freeze version, okay, define moderation, rest, define phase one scope, agree, MongoDB for all persistent data. Uh, MongoDB, yes, Nest back, React front, leaflet map, heat map, Swagger, public APIs. What you're missing: abuse control beyond rate limits, privacy, auditability, API governance, use spatial scope decisions, route the geometries from day one, operation baselines, key decisions already captured, to publish immediately, recommend URLs, verification. I have these requirements planned, save you in session memory, I'm ready to refine you with network steps. Okay, for the API, for the public API part, it should be read only. The internal UI, it should be the only one writing for the moment. Awesome. Now, for the abuse controls, let's leave it as it is for the moment. For phase one, has personal information privacy. What's the second I can't remember it. Um, Oh, I see your message now. As you were a hackathon judge, do you have any? Okay, I think you were saying like as if you haven't been a hackathon judge. I was like, yeah, I'm prepared enough. I get it now. Do you have any advices to make a great project? Um, I will say first one, it's don't take it bad if you don't win. I actually did. It was this year. I met a hacker at a hackathon in McGill. Uh, he took it really ground losing. He was very upset, uh, and I don't know. I don't feel like that's the spirit of being a hackathon. Um, it really depends on the judges. It could be me, it could be someone else. The point is, no one is impartial. We all have biases. We are humans, and probably I don't like something, even if the rubric it's like very precise and it has points and whatever. For me, a very good project can be a four. For someone else, can be a five. For someone else, a three. Like it totally depends. Also in the order, probably it's natural. I do believe it tells us nothing when people are marking with numbers things like if you see a project, the first one you will see you are clean, the second one you are comparing it to the first one, the third you are comparing it to the others, and probably you're decreasing your scores and you didn't like it that much the first one, but in comparison, yeah, the other ones are worst, so they're receiving the worst scores, or it could be the opposite, like you really hate it or not like that all the first one, so in comparison the other ones are awesome. So first thing I will say it's don't take it bad to not win or to lose. Um, the truth it's like flipping a coin there. You can have luck or be like very or judge very, how to say that, um, in a not a good way. I try to judge as partial as I can, but what I can tell you, it's try to understand the problem that happens a lot of time. Like, for example, for the mainly hacking categories, best implementation of, let's say, MongoDB. Yeah, a lot of people do the minimum, creating the Atlas cluster, doing a CRUD. That's okay. What else? Experiment. Talk with your, if possible, of course, talk with your judges, try talk with the people that are going to review, talk with the organizers, understand what they want, what they were the ones created the rubric, of course. For example, again, for the MongoDB one, I always say explore the documentation. There are a lot of things to do. There's geospatial data support, there's vectorize, there's search, there is time series, there is pipelines, aggregation pipelines. A lot of people just do run queries there. They don't even use aggregation pipelines, and that's it. Understand what the people want from you. Sorry for parental pause. Now was like to ensure the project stands out in a hackathon. Yeah, that's how you do understanding what the people want. So continuing here, as personal information, blah blah. How long and negotiation timelines. Avoid storing PII as possible. Um, add the auditability collections on MongoDB, the necessary audit versus MongoDB. Now for the API governance, explicit versioning. Yes, use explicit versioning, pagination filter, and common error schema. For geo data, use route geometry from day one. Also apply your word rails recommendations. Are we missing anything else, or we can't start building? Awesome. We have that now. Yes, probably that won't take that much. We have a good time. 2014. Also, just to do talk here while the AI help us think. Are you fans of the World Cup? I know it's that Colombia, same in English. Yeah, I think it's Colombia. Shouldn't change, right? Well, Colombia is playing now. I don't know against who they are playing. Tomorrow Mexico plays. um, okay, requirement are completely locked. There are two things we're designing for the scaffolding, so the repo structure it's set up correctly from start. To separate repos, no, mono repo. Docker Compose, of course. What's the target development environment? Yes, local Docker Compose. Love it. I love the correct summary course step state phase one, phase B depends on A. Now that's parallel. Phase D front end API. Awesome. For these relevant files to be created. Okay, start implementation. Yeah, what's autopilot? I haven't tested. There's been a lot of changes to Copilot lately. Um, yeah, we were changed to agent mode, so this is working. I'm going to leave this work for a second and I'll be back. I'm going to grab some water in my beautiful GitHub mock. So I'll be back. And I'm back. I realized I needed to give permissions. So we're going to give whole requirement permissions and everything. Let's inspect this. GeoMaps proposal. We have two workspaces. We have the Docker Compose up, run, whatever, environment example. The MongoDB, the URI. We are running the monorepo and Docker Compose. We are installing now CLI of the Nest.js. We should see these created folders inside a project in a short notice. And yeah, while waiting. What website is this? You mean what are we building? Or you mean like what's currently here on the screen? This is Visual Studio Code running GitHub Copilot at the right. Yeah, is that your question? Well, I hope it is. And we have the backend. If you're not familiar, this is how the Nast JS looks like. Again, you should see and know what we're doing, but Nest JS, if you haven't tried before, I will recommend. It's the framework for the backend. I don't love the page, I have to admit it, but this is very powerful, I promise. Um, Nest.js is a framework for very efficient, scalable, Node.js server-side applications. It uses JavaScript. It's built with a fully support TypeScript. So this is great. If you remember or have been following some of the other streams I have gave in the past, this is the one we use for gRPC because this supports remote procedure calls. So here, fundamental techniques. No. Dev tools, other reference, revision courses, discover receipts. Here, I think it is. No, what happens? Okay, well, yeah, here we have remote procedure call. Okay, here microservices to connect these microservices to one another. We actually this supports a lot. It supports Redis and Qt and ATS. I don't know actually what an ATS is. RabbitMQ, Kafka, and gRPC. RabbitMQ I have tried in the past. It's event-driven architecture. Kafka for streaming and gRPC, remote procedure call, Google remote procedure call. But yeah, Nest, it's great. It's my go-to choice every time we talk about backend because you can scale it up from being a really simple backend application like the one we're building to be like a very huge scale things. Yes, thank you. I was just wondering that platform was being used to build the website. No, yeah, this we're building, it's with again Visual Studio Code with the Copilot, GitHub Copilot add-on that you can install here on the extensions, and of course you need the GitHub. What's the name for that? Uh, Studio Developer Pack to unlock access to Copilot. Mhm. So we are already in phase B. We already created the mono repo and Docker Compose, bootstrapped Next.js, and we created React frontend. The frontend looks like this, of course. This is React. Probably, if we take a look to the package, okay, here it is. Package React, which version? 19. Okay, the latest. So that's good. Now we're creating the MongoDB schemas and indexes, and I think should be moving. Now we will cover back models, config. Okay, helpers. In the backend, here we will have the definition of the schemas. We have the outlet log, the moderation proposals, and the user. Now for the proposals, let's see how this looks. We have the title, description, category, location, status, creator ID, creator display name, support count, text, moderation reasons, and moderated at. Um, that's good. Now we are creating the goal out strategy. again, we need to supervise everything. Of course, I'll be kind of light checking this because in a hackathon you probably have more time. We have like 20 minutes left, so focus more here. I know the things we have to worry and focus about are this kind of stuff. Probably the other things like the controllers, the services are going to be fine. I trust this. Um, if you see this, it's just because of the linter. TypeScript ESLint. You see? No worries. Probably at the end we can have some linter files and solve that really quick. Okay. Phase B will be schemas creation. Okay. We have an error where cd run relative import some proposal service controllers main TS. Now for the out, which is the out controller. Let's see if the service what this does. Goose passport. We also use Swagger, which is the outward. Okay, we're phase D now. Leaflet, heat map, and clustering. We are moving fast, and I'm very excited to see the output. Um, um, Sorry, I was confused because my cell phone was marking 9:41, and I was like, "What?" I always like, what? Why 9:41? Um, I thought I completely lost track of time, but no, we are good. It is 8:29 for me right now. I had to check like five clocks: the one in the computer, the my watch, my wristwatch, and my iPad to verify at what time I was living on because my phone was marking a different time. I don't know, it glitched or something. Um, hey Alberto from Harsh, how are you doing, Harsh? Well, now for the maps, we need to check here. Hey, we will have this one. So let's not forget to add the git ignore. Um, Here it git ignore bucket list should be added. At the end, we can verify that when we add it to the GitHub repository. So not in the disks. At the front end, I think it's important to have that in mind. Public, also not modules one. Source pages, out admin map page. We are implementing leaflet. Here should be. Why it's not here? Mm-mm-mm. Actually, even in the packaging, okay, here, leaflet, React leaflet, maybe it's added okay, yeah, it's added as a component. Yeah, here, help from leaflet. Also, fixed leaflet default like impact broken for bundlers. Amazing. Draw controls. So it makes sense what this is doing. Yeah. We have the audit service. The audit service probably this one should be importing the Google Strat. Yeah, passport rollout 20. Yeah, awesome. And here on the yes, that's correct. Let's just also verify this. So we can use Visual Studio Code with a GitHub compiler to build websites. Um, Technically, GitHub Copilot, it's not a compiler. What a compiler do, it takes us a text file, which can be from a programming language, let's say um, C. C, it's a language that it's compiled. How you know that? Because it doesn't run unless the file is correct. Because we speak C. We humans. When I say I'm talking about the humankind. Of course, not all. Not even me, to be honest. But let's say, and let's suppose I know the C syntax or C sharp. Um, and this language has to be translated into what the computer knows. Byte. So the machine language, it's what the computer understands. It's, for example, yo hablo español, pero si me pongo a hablar español, no me entiende, ¿no? I speak Spanish, but if I speak Spanish to you, you don't understand me. We need a translation. So what the compiler thing does, it translates to a language your machine can understand. Um, Here, what you're seeing on the screen, it's not per se a compiler. JavaScript, it's a language that it's in time compiled or interpreted. What does that mean? It's that the running engine that will translate this to something the computers can understand reads line by line. That's why, for example, with JavaScript or Python, you you have never not you can run the files or the scripts or whatever, but you will find errors in the meantime or runtime errors. Um, but what's happening here? It's a little more complex. What's happening here on the right is that I'm using GitHub Copilot, which is an artificial intelligence based or backed with a long language model that can create code. And this is creating code for me based on my instructions. Now, at the end, which I think we hit now, uh, yeah, I will teach you how I'm going to run this using an interpreter. And the beautiful thing about this is that all browsers know how to interpret JavaScript natively, But if you want to do it on your machine, you will need something called Node. You will have to install Node, which is the interpreter for saying somehow of JavaScript, and then your machine can understand it. It's like installing a compiler there. Um, does that make sense? Do I explain it well? If you still have questions, please ask it. I'll be really happy to answer them. Now that Copilot is done creating the files we asked for, and that's because it knows how to write text, we can run this. Let's do that. So it gives us a summary of what was done. Uh, uh, um, Both backend and frontend compile cleanly. Phase one implementation is complete. Both apps build with zero errors. Here's what was built: the backend, the schemas, auth, auth, public let, common, main TS. That's clear. Frontend. Type Axis, Google Out, Leaflet, Browse, React, draw controls, proposal form, moderation panel, and the map page. Next steps to run Rockle. I need to. Okay, well, I'm going to keep all the changes. I'm going to close this, and the M file, I'm going to change it. Fill the Google Client ID, the Google Client secret, and the session secret. Um, I'm going to change it to just for saying something. Uh-huh. And I'm going to create. Give me a second. Mongo Atlas project. Okay. Mhm. How many coding languages can we use to create apps on GitHub? Um, I would say GitHub Copilot knows all programming languages. Yeah, it's AI, so probably it knows how to do all programming languages. I'm going to log in. Give me a second, I'll log in. I need the password. Okay, and initiate. Okay, here we are at the stage. So this cluster was paused because I was not using it. This is the one I use for playing around. Now I'm resuming this. In the meantime, we can go back. What else we're missing? Port, node development, um, Google Auth, of course. And for this, I actually wanted to check something, which is what's this one? Passport strategy for authentication with Google using Auth02 API. Um, usage. Before using a passport, you must register an application with Google. If you have not already done a new project, okay, I need to do this in the Google Developer Console. So GCP console. What? So I have this. Your application will be used client ID and client secret, which need to be provided to the start. You also need to configure a related URI. Workshop project. I want this APIs and services, credentials here. Create ID for out 0. Okay, let's call this hack for good. My email next intern. Okay, that's extern, of course. Okay, accept, continue, and create. Name. Uh-huh. Okay, you know what? For simplicity, let's do a quick thing. Connect. I'm going to say drivers node for simplicity and to speed things up. Let's remove the out part for this phase. And in the meantime, I'm going to check the project access, database network access. I'm going to create a new user, let's say hack for good, and the password will be generated. How to generate, copy, add build run, read and write to any database. Okay, actually that's correct. Okay, now yeah, let's skip that for a moment and hack for good. And let's wait for this. We're running against the clock here. I hope we can make it. I know we can make it. Let's trust this. Uh-huh. Changes down. And also, let's say git init. Awesome. In the meantime, let's create a repository. Let's create new repository. I'm going to be the owner. I'm going to call this hack for good cyclist tracks. This is going to be public. No start with template, no start with nothing. Awesome. I'm going to create this. And I'm going to do this. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm going to keep it. Can I delete the then? Uh, 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 and here Docker compose up. Come on, you can do it. Oh my god, it's that pulling. No, okay. Let's cancel it. Let's cancel it. Hey, I'm using MongoDB Atlas. I already added the URI connection to the apps. Remove it from the Docker. Or from Docker. Yeah, good to know. Yep. Docker compose down. Docker up. Detach. Okay, Docker build. Okay, valid. Wait. I can fix this quickly. The backend Docker is using npm CI, but there's no log file in backend inside the build context. I don't know. Doesn't seems like a valid change. But hey, for the moment, should be fine. It's taking a little. Are we allowed to use AI coding assistants like GitHub Copilot to help build a project, or we just prefer entirely handwriting code? No. Of course. Well, short answer again, as everything, it depends on the specific hackathon you are at. I will tell you, as a judge, it's not like we prefer handwritten code. Uh, it won that point. The thing is, some hacks do again strict or restrict. I mean, the use of AI. Um, but in a personal opinion, I don't see why. On the other side, I will encourage everyone to use AI as much as they can, of course. Again, responsible usage. Understand what's happening. Don't like just build to build, but knowing what to ask for. That's important. Okay, this is validating the build. It's done. Awesome. Build and it looks like it can be done. Keep Docker compose down, Docker compose build, Docker compose up. And we have it. Which which should be localhost 8080? No, 300? No. Let me Docker compose logs. No, it's Docker. Okay. I'm going to open the dashboard for this. Okay. The backend, it's failing. And I'm going to say this. We need to fix this schema. Yeah, cool. Okay. Docker goes down. Docker compress. Visual. Okay, keep Docker compose build. Docker and now this is good. Now on the front end, wow, what a weird Awesome. And we have this now. There are some proposals, which is great. Uh, let's see. Connectivity. Okay. Safety. I'm going to add a new proposal. I'm not going to tell you where I live, but I'm going to choose here from the Bosque de Chapultepec to now what happened here to here to here to here. The test, Alberto. This is my proposal. Okay, we can make some changes. We can enhance the UI, of course. This could be cycle infrastructure. That's this is really good. Submit proposal. And if you remember, I draw it here, here. And we see the heat map that a lot of things are happening here. So that's great. Heat map at least seems to be working. And now if I go to the admin, my test is published. Let's, now I don't want to hide it. Okay, let's go one step back. Um, so I'm going to add a lot of proposals there to see that this actually works. Now this is going to be from here to here to here. Another test. And the category technical infrastructure, Sunbet. Oh, please draw up your location here. The road is going to be similar. Money description. And if we zoom in here, we see the heat map incremented. So we have 2 pins now. Okay, awesome, that's working. So with this, we can close that. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, no, of course, I need to polish this, right? Let's see, distribute is hidden. This one's correct. Tests are correct. Docker, the dist is high, no end. Env it's not sharing, no node modules. So that's cool. That's cool. Okay, all changes seems to be legit. Awesome. Yes. So git status, git add, and well, I'm going to share it here and with you, so you can enjoy it. And I'm going to finish the session. Thank you so much. We made it on time. And well, I will see you on next Global Hack Weeks. I hope you enjoyed the session, learn a little with me, and I will see you around. Happy hacking. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye.